The World Series is set, and it's an epic bout. Dodgers versus Yankees, LA versus New York. The 12th time these two teams have faced off in the World Series, but the first time since 1981. I am not old enough to have seen this before, so I'm super stoked for it. These are the biggest of the big market teams, and of course, those big markets have some of the biggest parks. Representing Los Angeles, we have Six Flags Magic Mountain, and representing New York, we have Six Flags Great Adventure. Two parks, one chain, both considered at one time the flagship park, and today they face off for all the marbles. Dodgers, Yankees, Magic Mountain, Great Adventure. This is your World Series Park Battle 2024. First off, I know there are closer parks to LA and New York than Magic Mountain and Great Adventure, but these are the biggest parks that serve the major cities, so that's why I chose them. Let's do a coaster battle, pair up some flat rides, and look at some other reasons these parks deserve extra points. Let's start with a battle of the hypers, Goliath at Magic Mountain, Nitro at Great Adventure. These were built 1 year apart, Goliath from Giovanola, the world's tallest drop at the time it opened in 2000, and B&M's Nitro didn't set any records, but it's just a good long hyper full of airtime. Goliath can't say the same. It may be taller, but it has 900 less feet of track. It has an intense downward helix, but Nitro can match that with an intense upward helix. This is no contest. Six Flags did Magic Mountain dirty, and they gave Great Adventure a great hyper. First point to Great Adventure. Now, let's talk about the Ejector Airtime machines. Twisted Colossus at Magic Mountain and El Toro at Great Adventure. This was the hardest call I had to make on the list. In the past, I'd say El Toro, no contest. This Intamin prefabricated wooden coaster from 2006. That 176-foot drop at 76 degrees being one of the best ever. Two powerhouse camelbacks, the Rolling Thunderhill, and a twisted finale right against the ground. This was my #1 overall coaster for 10 years, but over time it's gotten kinda rough, and after my rides in 2024 I had to drop it some. Twisted Colossus is 9 years newer, built by RMC out of the old Colossus wooden coaster, and this is a coaster I can and have ridden all day. This is so close, but I still have to give the edge to El Toro. It has so many elite moments Twisted Colossus just can't match. Great Adventure takes a 2-0 lead for the Yankees. Both parks have a flying coaster, Tatsu at Magic Mountain and Superman Ultimate Flight at Great Adventure. Superman is a clone, the original being at Over Georgia, another clone at Great America. This is a compact model that can't be plopped on a flat plot of land, but that doesn't mean it isn't a really fun ride. On the other hand, Tatsu is a monster. 170 feet tall, towering above the footpaths below, swooping all over the side of a mountain, ending with one of the most insane elements ever, a 124-foot pretzel loop. This is no contest. Magic Mountain and the Dodgers are on the board. Both parks have a Floorless coaster. Also, in fact, the same exact Floorless coaster. Medusa was the original, opening at Great Adventure in 1999. 7 inversions over 4,000 feet of track, and Scream opened in Magic Mountain's parking lot 4 years later. I've personally never been a big fan of this layout, so it all comes down to atmosphere and how the rides run. Medusa crushes Scream when it comes to setting, and for a long time, Scream ran with a pretty bad rattle. My ride in 2024 was pretty smooth, but I also got back on Medusa this year and that was even smoother. Give me Medusa and a 3-1 Great Adventure lead. Only a few parks have a coaster that stands over 400 feet, but it just so happens that we got 2 of them right here. Magic Mountain has Superman Escape from Krypton, opening in 1997, the first coaster to clear 400 feet. Also, the first coaster to hit 100 miles an hour, supposedly. There's some debate if it was this or Australia's Tower of Terror. Regardless, this launches you out using LSMs. One side forward, one side backwards, again, sometimes. Up a tower and back down. King Ka opened 8 years later. By this time, Intamin had developed their hydraulic launch, using that to propel the train at 128 miles an hour over a 456-foot top hat, spiraling down and over a giant hill before the brakes. Even though it has an oval layout, it's way more dynamic than Superman, and an easy point for Great Adventure, 4-1. Now, let's look at the stand-up coasters. Magic Mountain got theirs back in 1998, Riddler's Revenge breaking all the records when it came to stand-ups. 156 feet tall, almost 4,400 feet of track, 6 inversions. Just a twisted mess of steel and a very complete ride. Great Adventure got theirs second-hand in 2011. Green Lantern starting out at Kentucky Kingdom, operating its chain from 1997 to 2009, so this is actually 1 year older than Riddler. This is very comparable in size and length, just having 1 less inversion. These may look similar, but they don't run the same. Maybe it's part of being relocated, but Green Lantern is much more rough. And even though I think it's more intense, its layout isn't quite as good. It's not a blowout, but Riddler is the clear winner. Magic Mountain moves within 2 points. Both parks have a 4th dimension coaster, Magic Mountain having the original, the Aerodynamics Monster X2. It starts with a 215-foot drop taking backwards, face first, using another set of rails to control how the seats spin, flipping into a very intense course spanning 3,600 feet. Great Adventure has Joker, one of the many SNS free spins in the chain, 120 feet tall and just over 1,000 feet of track, flipping riders around but it's not controlled, so sometimes you flip once, other times you never stop flipping. These are insane rides, but they don't hold a candle to X2, one of the elite coasters in the world. Magic Mountain creeps closer, 4-3. There are only 2 large-scale RMC Raptors in the world, and you can find them at these 2 parks. Jersey Devil was the first, opening in 2021, 130 feet tall, 3,000 feet of track, 3 inversions, a very linear double out and back layout, and the first time I rode it I wasn't that impressed. Even when I got back to it in 2024, it wasn't that good. I guess I was spoiled by the original Raptors. Wonder Woman Flight of Courage opened 1 year later, and this has the same layout. The only difference is the way the station's angled, and this is 1 foot taller, so it can claim the title as the world's tallest single rail coaster. I've ridden this a few times, and I don't love this one either, but I thought it brought more force than Jersey Devil. So, it's close, but still a clear win for Magic Mountain, tying this one up 4-4. Let's talk about gimmicky launch coasters, and at Magic Mountain, you have Full Throttle. This 2013 Premier Rides coaster opened with the world's tallest loop, 160 feet tall and packed with hang time, that following a launch out the station. Then it goes up and over the mountain, into a dive loop, stops in a tunnel, and then does a swing launch up and over the loop, diving into the brakes. This is 2,200 feet long and very short, but is a great ride. Plus, it only has lap bars. At Great Adventure, you have the Flash Vertical Velocity, supposed to open this year but got pushed to next year. This also having a multi-pass launch to start, sending you into an airtime filled, hang time filled, whippy linear layout, traversing the course forward and backward. I've never ridden this, nobody has ever ridden this, but based on what I've seen, I think Full Throttle wins. This also has vest restraints, and those look fine, but it's not as good as a lap bar. Some of you may disagree, but I think Magic Mountain gets this point and goes up 5-4. Now, onto the park's family-friendly coasters, and Magic Mountain has Roadrunner Express. This Vekoma Jr. coaster came to the park in 2011, starting off at Six Flags New Orleans in 2000 until Katrina shut that park down. And this is a very common model, over 2 dozen around the world. 28 feet tall, 679 feet long, very mild but a nice intermediate family coaster. Great Adventure has Harley Quinn Crazy Train, this built by Zero in 1999. This just a bit shorter at 26 feet, but has more track at almost 1,200 feet. This also has an insanely long 20-car train, that's snaking 40 riders around its double figure 8 course. Harley Quinn has a more complete ride experience, so I have to give it the edge, tying this game 5-5. Both parks open with an Aero Mine Train, Magic Mountain opening Gold Rusher in 1971, and Great Adventure opening Runaway Mine Train in 1974. Gold Rusher uses its terrain to perfection, going up and over the hill to start, going back up the hill and riding alongside it, ending with a great helix. Runaway Mine Train doesn't have the same terrain, but it does a much better job with the ride experience. It starts with a helix high off the ground, then some sharp drops, the big finale being a swooping turn right on top of the lake, and where I think Gold Rusher is just okay. I was very impressed by Runaway Mine Train, impressed enough to go back for a second round. You actually get some force in that back row. Great Adventure takes a 6-5 lead. We have 2 more clones, but I can't give a point one way or the other. Both parks have a Batman the Ride, but I can't in good faith tell you which one's better. They seem the same to me. Also, they both have a Zamperla Gravity Coaster, Speedy Gonzales Hot Rod Racers at Magic Mountain, and Little Devil Coaster at Great Adventure. Same ride, very basic. Let's face it, they're the same. There are some coasters left over that don't have a real counterpart, so let's give 1 point for the coasters that deserve it. Also, a 1/4 point for extra kids coasters. Magic Mountain has Apocalypse, Revolution, Ninja, Viper, and West Coast Racers. That's 5 extra points right there. And then Magic Flyer and Canyon Blaster, adding an extra half point. So Magic Mountain jumps out to a 10.5 to 6 lead. Great Adventure has the Dark Knight Coaster and Skull Mountain. Magic Mountain doesn't have any indoor coasters, so Great Adventure gets 2 extra points, bringing this match to 10.5 to 8. Both parks have 3 very similar standout flat rides. Magic Mountain has Krasanity, and Great Adventure has Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth. These are both Giga Discoveries, and I think they cancel each other out. They also have very similar drop towers. Magic Mountain opened Lex Luthor Drop of Doom on the side of Superman's tower in 2012, featuring a 400-foot drop. Great Adventure answered with Zumanjaro in 2014, 15 feet taller, in the middle of King Daka's tower. Both are insanely tall, give awesome views, and I think they also cancel each other out. Finally, both parks have a Justice League Battle for Metropolis. Very good shooting dark rides, but basically the same. These days, when you ride the rides, parks might tell you to put your stuff in the locker. Great Adventure is among the worst parks I've ever been to when it comes to this. Luckily, it's limited to their big rides, but El Toro, King Decat, Jersey Devil, Joker, and I'm sure the Flash will be the same way. You must get a locker for all your stuff. El Toro has double-sided lockers now, which is nice, but lockers are still a pain, especially for people who come prepared and have zipper pockets. Magic Mountain doesn't have a single coaster that requires a locker. Only on X2 and Wonder Woman you can't bring your backpacks or souvenir bottles in the station, but anything in your pockets can stay there. Magic Mountain gets a point for not having those crazy locker policies, 11.5 to 8. Magic Mountain did tear out the great log flume, Log Jammer. That was a park original and lasted until 2011, being removed in favor of Full Throttle. Now, all they have is Jetstream, a totally uninspired log flume with no terrain and a big drop at the end. Great Adventure's newly renovated Sawmill log flume goes way out in the middle of nowhere and comes back, and is just a way cooler water ride. Point for Great Adventure, 11.5 to 9. Magic Mountain used to be awesome when it came to transportation rides and photo perches. They had a sky ride, and a monorail, and a sky tower. All those are gone now or shut down for the long term, though the sky tower does have plans to reopen. For now, Great Adventure crushes Magic Mountain in this department. Having the sky ride that takes you from Skull Mountain to Frontier Adventures not only provides transportation, but great views. The giant wheel gives some awesome views from 150 feet up, center cut in the park so you can see anything in any direction. These give Great Adventure 2 more points, and now they're down by just a half a point, 11.5 to 11. You may think the game is over for Great Adventure and the Yankees, but they have one more big hitter to bring off the bench, their Safari Off-Road Adventure. This is a brilliant 40-minute ride, taking you into different sections, your vehicle equipped with a tour guide. This attraction being part of the original park concept, and being a staple of the Great Adventure Resort for 50 years. This is worth at least 3 extra points, but it doesn't matter. They only needed 1 to take this battle, and Great Adventure has officially won the World Series for the New York Yankees. As for the actual baseball part of the series, I sadly think this park battle is going to end up being right. I am a Dodger fan, I'm very happy they made it this far, but I don't trust their starting pitching. The offense is awesome, the bullpen is great, but the Yankees have Garrett Cole and the Dodgers don't have that rock-solid ace. The Yankees bullpen is also very good, number 6 in baseball compared to the Dodgers number 4. I think the series comes down to 2 wildcards. Will the Dodger starters come out with their A game, or their D game? We have seen both from each starter this postseason. And will the Yankee bats come out hot, or will they be ice cold? I'm looking at you, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm. The Dodgers will hit, Yankee starters will pitch. Both bullpens will be good. It all comes down to the Dodger starters and the Yankee bats. My prediction is Yankees in 6, maybe 7. That's all I have for now. Let me know what you think about this park battle, what you would have done different, any other factors I should have considered, and if you have any thoughts on the World Series, sound off in the comments below. Before you go, please drop a like, and if you're new here and love coasters, please give me a sub. Also, check out my second channel where I post copyright-free off-ride footage. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.